hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Everybody know this cliche saying. So I just give you a little example. This is hard work. This is talent. They both working at the same time, but hard work is outworking talent. So as they're rising, hard work eventually catches talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I feel like when you're working hard and you're talented, the sky's the limit, dude. Understanding that this is a business. Fighting matters, yes. It's a sport. Gotta be good. Gotta be tough. But one thing a lot of people forget, you have to be sellable. You gotta be able to be sold. They'll buy you if they can sell you. If they can't sell you, they're not gonna buy you.
Welcome to Personal Perspectives, podcast episode 13. And today's guest really don't need no introduction, but I'm still going to give him one. One of the best wrestlers in the DMV area, or maybe even the world. Also entering the MMA space with a record of 7-0. The man, the myth, the legend, Tyshawn.
What's happening?
Welcome, man.
What's up, Brody?
Welcome. So, the first thing, before you even come, before I even break the ice with you, ask you the first question, right? I want to know, what does fighting mean to you?
Man, I find a nice time space when it comes down to fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting is like, it's a harmony and a battle between peace and chaos at the same time.
Mm.
I enjoy fighting. We had a lot of questions like this when we came down in the gym. We were sitting there talking. I was like, man, fighting brings me peace. You know what I mean? And somebody said, it brings you peace and all of the chaos that's involved inside of fighting when I'm inside the cage. But, man, like, I really find peace in between the embeddeds of the hardships, just as well as the moments when I feel like I'm running out of gas. You know what I mean? When my lungs feel like they're collapsing. I find peace in that. You know what I mean? I find peace in waking up every day, going to practice. You know what I mean? Every day is hard in life, where everybody's battling back and forth with whatever it is that they're battling with, So when it comes down to fighting, like, I really find my up and down, my high and low in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm going to expand on it a little bit, though. I got you.
I like that. So, it brings you peace, right?
Peace.
So, from the scale of 1 to 10, how is your mental?
Man, my mental's good. My mental's strong, stronger than ever. You know what I mean? I have all of my faith in God. I always had all of my faith in God. I realized that as I got older and I grew my relationship closer with Him, as you know, Grandma had us really intrigued into God growing up going to church on Sundays and stuff like that. And I really got closer to God when I got older. And I realized and got to feel what it really means to have a relationship with Him. Once I acquired that relationship with Him, like, it put me in a really good space, you know what I mean, that strengthened my mind and stuff like that. I feel like for everything to be aligned, my mental, my spiritual, and my physical all got to be on point. You know what I mean? I can't have one here and one here. I'm going to be off balance. I'm going to be offline at that point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When everything's focused into, like, just one point or whatever like that, that solidifies me. You know what I mean? For my mental to be on 10 like it is now, my spiritual has to be on 10. My physical has to be on 10. Obviously, you're going to have moments where you T-tip a little bit, but for the most part, kind of want to keep everything, like, going the same way.
Okay, cool. So, before we dive deeper into it, I definitely love the info, the mental space, relationship with God, and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
What do you drink? Or if you drink or not?
What do I drink?
Yeah.
Agua.
Okay.
Water.
So water.
Espanol.
Okay, so they got some Fuji water for you. You know what I'm saying? So
I need some,
water.
bro. I'm thirsty as shit. God damn. I ain't gonna lie, I'm parched.
Sure. All right. So I got you. I'm going to pull it up for you.
Appreciate it. Is this Zenjoy?
Yeah, Zenchoy. That's one of our sponsors.
This shit good?
No, it's good. Yeah. If you want some of that too as well.
What is it, like an energy drink?
Yeah, I mean, it's really like realization. It's like a tea.
Okay, that makes sense.
Refrigerator.
Told you I was thirsty.
If you want more, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Definitely let me know. Okay, cool. So, first question is, people say Baltimore breed warriors, right? What is the hardest lesson that you grown I mean, that you learned from growing up?
From Baltimore?
Yeah.
Damn, the hardest lesson I've grown from learning from Baltimore. Man, the hardest lesson?
Yeah.
Knowing that everybody's not gonna be there by the time you get to the finish line.
Mm. You elaborate on that one?
Like, I'll be glad to actually. I noticed that on this journey and stuff like that, I noticed that a lot of people came and a lot of people went. You know what I mean? I had a lot of friends, family, cousins, whatever it was, may have played a part in my life early, but left a little bit in between and then came back. I noticed that this is a journey for me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, as I have been, I've ran into so many different people in walks of life. You know what I mean? Outside of Baltimore, just as well too. But speaking on Baltimore, like everybody's not gonna hit the finish line with me, and that's something I had to realize
Okay.
coming into it.
And how did that make you feel?
And it's tough, super tough. You know, building these relationships, these bonds and stuff like that, having this spiritual connection or however you want to put it with people and stuff like that, because energy is aligned. Like within people, like we have a relationship, we have a bond. That's how energy is connected. Energy is a powerful thing. So it was tough. Dealing with that detachment. I think I would call it. I would try to describe it as that. But like dealing with that and stuff like that made it a little difficult, a little heartbreaking, like almost like if you break up with a girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So like, yeah, it was tough. It still is tough.
Oh,
Still dealing with it, whether the person walked away, whether it was a traumatic experience that came. Where we come from. So what part takes it and stuff. So I feel like those are some of the reasons of why some people have disattachments and kind of go separate ways and stuff like that. Different walks of life. That's about it, really.
okay.
Everybody's not gonna end up on the same path at the end. Some
Okay.
may.
Okay. I like that. Right. So you talked about how people came and they left. Right.
Yeah.
Then you talked about spirituality, religion, your mental and stuff like that. Right. So who is Tyshawn Williams?
Man, Tyshawn Williams is someone that gives hope. Gives hope to kids from Baltimore, coming from Baltimore City, because this is where I come from. This is how I'm going to be recognized as I'm cruising into that next level. I'm going to make sure people know who I am. I want to make sure people know where I came from. But at the end of it all, I'm going to make sure they know where I'm going at, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to drive hope. That's going to drive hope and faith in a lot of kids. You have a divine structure. Whereas though there's some kids that might be able to find that divine structure in Baltimore, within sports, school, whatever it is. Like I've noticed that I've definitely rubbed off on some of my younger siblings, nieces, nephews, family, friends, daughters and kids, sons, whatever it is. I noticed that I kind of brought an effect in them too. So I feel like I'm going to represent a lot of hope. Like that's hope and faith. That's somebody that I am.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hope and faith.
yeah.
Man, I like that. I
That's
like
all
that.
I had growing
Okay,
up.
so who was the most influential person in your earlier life, and what was the best lesson they ever taught you?
Man, most influential person. If we talk about influence directly on life, I would say my dad, man. You know, I would say my dad had the most influence on my life. A person that I looked up to is for different reasons. I feel like I've always looked up to my dad, to be quite honest with you. Me being straight up, my dad. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And when we talking about sports divine wise, I would say my cousin Avery.
Okay.
Looked up to him a lot.
Okay. And that what was that best lesson that they taught you on the sports side and on the life side?
My dad taught me something that my grandmother taught him, and she also taught me too, because my grandmother had a big part in raising me. Whatever you choose to do, be the best at it. If you're gonna be a garbage man, be the best garbage man there is. That's tossing garbage bags in the trash can. That's pretty much what I was raised from. My dad raised me like that. If you're gonna do something, be the best at it. Point blank period. Do it, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Don't half do it. When you half do something, you're gonna get half ass results. It's no point of wasting time when you can go do something else at that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I fight. I do what I do not only because it makes me happy internally, but it's also what I'm choosing to do. Like
Right.
like I also want to do this because I want to be the best at it. You know what I mean? I want to give it my all. I'm not gonna half step and half do it. I'm gonna do it all the way. If
Right.
not, I'm just not gonna do it at all.
Okay. And then on the sports side, you said you looked up to your cousin. What was something that he taught
That's my dog, by the way. We
you?
can we can step into that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he taught me a lot. He taught me grit. He taught me how to be tough. He taught me how to go for it. Shooting back to that hope and faith thing, that's pretty much all I had as a kid growing up, hope and faith. I knew I was talented when I was a kid, but I didn't never know how much, you know what I mean? I just was watching what he was doing, and I knew I wanted to be like that, like even stepping into it. Like, I remember when he first went to Temple, he played football. He came up with his Instagram name at Temple. I guess they, did some marketing things and stuff like that. His name on Instagram was Temple's Answer. Surprisingly, many people not know, but when Instagram first came out, his name was Temple's Answer. I was his little cousin. I looked up to him. I played sports and stuff like that as well, and I was doing damn good. So I decided to make my name Life's Answer, and it just stuck like that ever since.
Right. Okay. So, was there a moment in your childhood or teen years where you had to grow up faster than you should have?
Hell yeah, for sure, 100%. Like, my bad about that.
No, you good. We just don't, we don't promote.
Oh, I don't blame
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Cause you straight. Yeah.
Uh, I would definitely say, bro, like early on when I got a little bit older though, not when I was a kid so much. I didn't really grow up necessarily broke or poor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying life wasn't tough. You know what I mean? Life was tough for sure, but I definitely didn't grow up broke or poor. So like when I got with my mom and I was able to get like a little bit more freedom and stuff like that, she let me do whatever. I tell her that all the time. I'm like, you'll never watch my kids. Fuck that. I swear. But when I went to go live with her and stuff like that, I think that's when I became, and I got a lot more freedom, and I had started running into certain situations where I started growing up a little faster than I should have. Doing things I shouldn't have. Like, I was just being a knucklehead growing up, After getting past those things and stuff like that, then life became easier. But I feel like, once I got to college and stuff like that, started realizing I was actually on my own a lot more and stuff. Like, that's when I started feeling it, having to clean up a little bit more, do dishes, because don't nobody want to live in a nasty space. You know what I mean? Some
Okay.
people may,
Okay.
not
So,
me.
correct me if I'm wrong, right? But you were wrestling since you were 6. You were always, were you always drawn to the combat sport as a kid, or was there like a certain spark that interested that?
I think I was always drawn to it, bro. Like, growing up, like, my dad was always the more aggressive type of parent. You know what I mean? Like, not as in like a physical way of like abuse or anything like that, but like he was the more aggressive type. Like, he had me on like that pit bull mode since a kid. So it's like I grew up always fighting. You know what I mean? I was always fighting in school, stuff like that growing up. I remember when I was a kid, a couple of vivid moments. Like when I was a kid, I was in elementary school and stuff like that. I didn't really have many friends, as you would call it. Like the few friends that I had, we used to have other kids. Like, your kids, like you might have cliques and groups and stuff like that. Kids trying to turn these kids against these kids and stuff like that. It was a lot of that going on. I was always fighting since I was a kid, like fighting right before I started wrestling, around the time I was wrestling, boxing, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was already tussling with my cousins and them. Actually, speaking back on Avery, had a lot to do with it. Made me real tough. We was constantly always getting into it, but he gave me that big brother love that I wasn't getting at the time. You know what I mean? So going up in elementary school and stuff like that, bro, like, I promise you, bro, like, it was many times where, man, these kids are turning against me. I start fighting. I probably, whip his ass. Then after I whip his ass, next thing you know, like, they don't want to be my friend. That clique of group. So I started not really having many friends because of that. Not because it was my fault. It was just kids just being kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, banter, teasing, whatever the case may be. But since I was a lot more aggressive and I just didn't understand it as well, because I used to just get mad and let you just do whatever I wanted to do at that point. I was just like, I'm ready to fuck you up. And then, bro, it's like I didn't have friends like that, you know what I mean, growing up. So I started having more friends and stuff like that when I started getting more divine into my sports and stuff like that. Football, wrestling. I played football down in Charm City over West Baltimore. And I also wrestled at McKim's, which everybody knows what McKim's is. If you're from here, they know what McKim is. So, yeah, like that's when I started really having more relationships and stuff like that, friends, because I started running the kids that was into the same. They was a lot more aggressive like me.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did rub shoulders or clash, it was okay. We was friends afterwards instead of dealing with some of the kids that wasn't really built that way in those schools growing up.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play sports.
So it seemed like sports played a big role into your life, right? And how you transitioned through life and started gaining, friends and going through different things because you spoke on college earlier, being more by yourself, right?
Yeah,
What's that one lesson that sports has taught you that still stick with you today?
things gonna get tough, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing. You can't give up. That's leading back to the first thing you asked me is what I stand for. I stand for faith and hope. You gotta have that faith. You gotta have that hope. You gotta have that grit. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get tough. That goes back to life. You know what I mean? Life gets tough for everybody. Everybody got stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like we all sit behind cameras and stuff like that, but we all got stuff going on. You know? But we come on here every day and we smile big. Mr. Hollywoods. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Going forward, bro. Just keep pushing. That's all about. And everybody should take that with them in life too. Just keep pushing.
Okay, so
Don't be a pussy about it.
okay, okay, all right. So, do you feel like your life depends on fighting?
Depend. Like elaborate on that. What you mean
So
depend?
you said
Can I
like
live without fighting? Or like, can I operate without fighting? Is that what you're asking?
not really operate without fighting. I wouldn't say operate without fighting because I feel like anybody can operate if they just apply themselves and learn. But I'm
100%.
saying at the age that you at now and how much time that you have gave to the sport, do you feel like your life depends on it now for you to make it in this lane?
100%. I had you elaborate on it, but I already knew it did. You know what I mean? Like, man, this is everything to me. Like some people speak about it, but man, I live, breathe, and sleep this. This is what I do, day in and day out. You know what I mean? Many people get blinded by the fact because I downplay a lot of things. I also don't share my thoughts with everybody. I don't really tell everybody what I'm really after. Because small voices, small people with small brains, you know what I mean? They tend to attack those things. People do that. Like when they feel like they can't do something, when they look at you like, how dare he shoot for that? You know what I mean? Some people shoot for the moon. I'm trying to shoot for a different galaxy, to be honest with you. Like, and I'm real quiet about it, real subtle about it, but I'm letting everybody know who I am, where I come from, where I'm going, and what I'm after too. I'm gonna let them know. I'm gonna give them me, a
Yeah.
raw, authentic cut, nothing that you can't get past. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just as real as it gets.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so you had success wrestling, right, in your wrestling career at SIUE, right, before transitioning to MMA. How was you introduced into wrestling, and what was that point where you realized that you had a real talent for it?
Oh yeah, I was a kid, dude. Like I was a kid. I was about like 6 years old. I was about six when I first started wrestling. My cousins actually speaking back on them, Avery and them and their dad, Big Anthony, Uncle Anthony, as we call him anyway. He the one that introduced me into wrestling, sports in general for the most part. That's where that all kind of leveled out and started from. And like he brought us into sports. He used to come pick us up, take us to practices every day and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I remember vividly we were inside of McKim, and my first year coming in, wrestling, not doing anything, I already had like a talent for it. You know what I mean? Like I was really good, and they was upset. I used to go to practice, and I used to didn't like going. You know what I mean? I really, honestly didn't like going. And my grandmother was like telling my uncle and dad, I'm like, he don't gotta go if he don't want to go. Blah blah blah. Like I was her favorite, so like that's how she carried it with me. So like with everybody else, but yeah, like I used to didn't even want to go. So I ended up like practicing for one whole year first. I was 6 years old. I practiced for one whole year first. I remember I was beating everybody and stuff like that because I wasn't losing because I always had this little tick. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that has a lot to do with why I fight too. I feel like you gotta have an itch for this. You gotta have a means for this. Like some people are technical. I'm not saying that. You can be technical. You can have hard work, but I just feel like like the ones that really get past like and get over that hump they're the ones that got that itch for it. You know what I mean? The ones that got something deep down inside of them that's, harboring, just like boiling up, like,
Yeah.
I call it the humble beast.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I feel like you gotta have an itch for it, a niche for it, and I feel like you can be great at it.
Okay. So what motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yes.
Man, definitely taking my talents as far as I can take them. You know what I mean? Taking my talents as far as I can take them. I would say my past life, you know, experiences, traumatic experiences as well as good experiences too. Growing up, even when I got older. Some people go through a lot of things at an early age that forms and turns them into this, puts this fire underneath of them that builds them into something. I have that. I do have that, to be honest with you guys and share that with you. I have that. But also, I've been through some things later in life too, you know, past, 4 or 5 years and stuff like that too, that made a lot of changes in my life that put different fires and stuff, feeding the flames and stuff like that. And it pushes me, for me to be honest with you. Like when I go fight, I was talking to like, some of my buddies and stuff like that. And I talk to my cousin every time, and I'm sure we'll probably get to him. I'm a hop on him a little bit, but that's somebody that definitely, I would say, motivates me. You know what I mean? He motivates me with and without his words. Nothing really need to be said for us to kind of be on that same page with each other. And like that's what makes that part of that trajectory very beautiful, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
when it comes down to man his relationship and our bond that we do have, you
Okay.
know.
Okay. So in the interview, right, you said you train to be the 10% and not the 90%. Can you elaborate on that? And what's the mindset that plays that part when it comes to your actual career?
Uh I would say, bro, playing sports and stuff like that, as we said, we spoke on talent, everything like that, bro. Like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Everybody know this cliche saying, right? So I just give you a little example. We're gonna kind of get down to it. So we start here. This is hard work. This is talent. They both working at the same time, but hard work is outworking talent. So as they're rising, hard work eventually catches talent when talent doesn't work hard. We're gonna bring it back down. You got hard work and you got talent here. They both working the same. Talent stays above hard work. It's like just straight basic knowledge, like 99.9% of the time. That's how that works. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like, when you're working hard and you're talented, sky's the limit, dude. Don't put no cap on it. I'm not putting no cap on myself. I'm going for it all. And wherever it gets me to, like, that's what I'm going at for. Like, I see me coming. You know what I mean? Pay-per-view style in the UFC. I'm telling you. I'm calling it now, though. I'm
Mm,
calling it now. And that's me telling the world.
okay. So has there ever been a fight that taught you a valuable lesson, either inside or outside the cage?
Talking about like sport base wise? Or,
I'm talking about a fight. So like you went into the fight, and when you came out, you like that one thing that you took from that fight that you like, oh, I could have did this, or this taught me this, or
yeah.
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Of course. It's still a fairly new sport for me, but just as much as it's new, I just feel like I've been here before. I feel like it's meant for me. I'm definitely seeing some things when I do go out there, to be honest with you, like that. I'm like, damn, okay, I noticed that. I can do this next time. Every time I go out there, I get better. I get better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm living in Vegas. You know what I mean? I'm out in Las Vegas training at Extreme Couture. Like, a lot of my training partners and stuff like that, a lot of these guys are already in the show. Not only where I'm going and where I'm headed, but like I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? Like bumping, rubbing shoulders with these guys, and it's all genuine. You know what I mean? Getting that kind of work in and stuff like that. It just lets me know, like, not only do I belong, but I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, and I just sit back and I look at those things, and I'm learning from more spaces from sparring. It's like I'm getting fights in. You know what I mean? And then by the time I go out there, I'm seeing things. I'm a lot more comfortable than I've been, bro. Like when I'm out there, like I'm comfortable. I know I'm here. I know I belong here, and I bite. So when the times come, I bite. I bite down. I always bite down. You ain't gonna be able to. This pit bull don't tuck his tail. I can promise you that. If I lose, you better just be better than me. That's all I gotta say. Like, being straight up with you. Like, some people lose because they quit. Ain't no quit in me, dog.
Okay.
I'd have been quit if that was the case.
Okay. So I did my research, right? You seen
Hmm?
that you fought your last two big fights
I'm
on the
killing this.
UFC Fight Pass.
Okay.
One in Virginia and one in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel moving up in the ranks so fast at 7-0?
Um, Honestly, I don't think about it. I don't even think about it. I feel like they all the same. It's just a stage. It's a stage for me to come perform. You know what I mean? Like, they don't see it like me. You know what I mean? And if they do see it like me, then they understand. It's just a stage for me to come perform. It don't matter if it's a smaller promotion. It don't matter if it's a promotion in Virginia, Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, my goal and my dreams is to get to the UFC and be able to perform on their platform. That's gonna be my time to show them who I am. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give them everything, not just fighting either. I'm a businessman, and I'm damn sure down to be a company man for them. Me saying that is, I'm coming to entertain. I ain't coming just to fight.
Okay. So with MMA growing in popularity, right? Especially among the young fighters, do you think there's enough resources or guidance that exists in the upcoming, like for the upcoming athletes?
Oh, repeat that.
All right. So MMA is growing
Okay.
as far as the popularity, right? Amongst the young fighters, right? Do you think it's like enough guidance or is it enough resources for the new people that's coming up in the actual sport?
I mean, like, I feel like you definitely got a lot of good blueprints. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, bro, one of my good buddies is Kobe Chaos Covington, and he's one of those guys that's breaking this down to me. Like, I just got off a FaceTime call with him right before I came in here. We chopping it up back and forth. He like, yeah, do this like this. Let these people know, let the world know Tyshawn Williams. You know what I mean? He introduces me to the world on his platforms, and now I'm coming out on your platform, and so on as life goes, as I continue to get deeper in my career, and stuff like that. I feel like he gives me a good idea of understanding that this is a business. Fighting matters, yes, it's a sport. Gotta be good, gotta be tough. But one thing a lot of people forget, you have to be sellable. You gotta be able to be sold. They'll buy you if they can sell you. If they can't sell you, they're not gonna buy you. So, you want to be entertaining. You want to draw people in. You want to bring people into this space. You want them to know who you are, know your story. Have something to grasp onto. You know, Once they do that and stuff, they become entertained. That makes you sellable, makes you marketable.
Hmm.
Give you a space and outlet for them to do what it is that they need to do. It makes their job a lot easier. Just, that's the way that I look at it. Thanks to him. I feel like people that do got people in their corners that's help guiding them that way and stuff like that, man, that's dope. You know what I mean? You should be blessed. I'm blessed to have.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm blessed to have him in my corner, in my ear, stuff like that too. On that side and that aspect of things when it comes to fighting.
Okay. So you said they'll buy you, right?
Yeah,
If you're marketable, if you're sellable, right?
yeah,
So how important is content to you then?
man. Content is really everything. I'll tell you though, like early on, I felt like I didn't want to push content as much because I feel like I wasn't where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? I feel like I still wanted to grow a little bit more into Tyshawn. You know, the reason also why I decided to come on to personal perspectives with you and speak is because I'm here now. I worked hard. I believed in what I believed in. I walked my walk of it. Maybe it could have been a lot better if I started earlier when it comes down to content, and things like that. But I feel like I started when I wanted to start. And I feel like this is the best time for it because I'm here now. I'm coming into the door and I'm going to give them me. You know what I mean? It's raw, it's authentic, showing what I stand for, showing what I support. Like I come from a family of blue collar workers. You know, my support system, a lot of my friends and stuff that support me to this day, they support me and they're blue collar guys. They work hard. They out there busting knuckles and turning wrenches, supporting for their families, putting on for this country, helping America be great. And like I really, really stand behind blue collar workers. I even had blue collar, many little side jobs and stuff like that myself growing up. And blue collar workers is something that I stand for. Also, definitely got to put that in there for sure. You
I
know,
like that. I like that. Okay, so as an athlete, right? Your body is one of your greatest tools.
yes, sir.
How do you push the balance between your self limits and longevity in the sports?
Recovery. Recovery is one of the most important things. Like, when you playing sports and stuff like that. I realized that a lot when I got in college. Like, they taught me a lot in college and what recovery meant for the body. Bro, I'm telling you something, bro. When you young, bro, like I'm telling you, when you young, your body heals like this. You know what I mean? Like your body heals, you recover, you bounce back super easily. Like the older I got, the more stress that my body takes on. I have inflammation building up in my knees, my ankles, my body. Just in general, like it makes it tough. Recovery, bro. I feel like that's one of the biggest things. So if you're a younger guy, you coming up, like take care of your body. You know what I mean? You don't want to put shit in it, you're gonna get shit out. Treat it like it's a Ferrari. You can either be a Ferrari or you can be a Honda. You know what I mean? They both need maintenance. Different maintenance. They both take gas, different gas. You know what I mean? Use gas as fuel. Fuel is food for the body. You can't put shit in your body and expect to get a good drive. You know what I mean? You're gonna get shit. And when it comes to maintenance, you can't get the cheapest mechanic to go on to your car. You're gonna get shitty results, so you're gonna break down quick. You wanna take care of yourself. I would say that. No smoking, no drinking. And if you is gonna drink, man, make it an occasional effect thing. Like every here and there, you know what I mean? You don't wanna make that something that's a part of you that you're constantly doing. You don't want that. You know what I mean? And when it comes to food, feeding yourself the right stuff. If some people that don't have the knowledge on nutrition, you definitely want to get a nutrition coach. You know what I mean? Early on. I wish that was something that I did growing up, in high school and things like that. I wish I had people that was nutritionists. I wish I had people advising me to take vitamins and stuff like that. Like having that stuff when I got older definitely made a bigger difference. I would say it gave me a little bit more of an edge. A little bit more of an edge in that situation, I would say.
I like that. I like that. That's some game right there. It's a lot of game right there.
Take
People
notes.
don't talk about like the recovery and you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
nutrition and different stuff like that. So that's like like a very important thing. You know what I'm saying? So okay, do you feel like Baltimore truly supports you on your journey?
Uh, I feel like it definitely took some time, but I definitely feel like, the trenches definitely got love for me. Because that's what I come from. As I told you, you know what I mean? I'm definitely headed somewhere else for sure, but that's definitely what I come from. So I feel like they definitely support me. I feel like putting them behind me, stepping on personal perspectives, letting people know a little bit more about me and my story and stuff like that. I feel like it's going to drive even more people behind me. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And man, I just want to walk with me on this journey because we going for it all, baby. We going for it all. Like,
Okay.
I can't even put it no other way than that.
Okay.
I'd be
So
lying to you if I did. I'd be lying to you if I put it any other way than that.
okay. So what's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about you?
Wait, say it again?
What's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about you?
I honestly don't know because I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Straight up, bro. I really don't give a fuck. Like, I stopped giving a fuck
Yeah.
because they don't matter. They don't
Right.
matter to me. Only people that matter, things that matter to me, bro, is God, my family. When I say family, like, that's a little particular, you know what I mean? That's inside of my inner circle that I can feel that energy waving around me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, other than that, I don't give a fuck what people think. You know what I'm saying? Love me or hate me, bro. You still watching me. You still gonna watch me do this.
At least I can get that out you. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time, bro. I swear. I tell one of my good friends that all the time.
What?
Literally, I say, yo, like, at least, right? If we know about the ones that love us, right?
Yes, sir.
So we hone in, we grateful, we thankful for that, right? But for the ones that hate us, you still gotta hone in and be grateful and thankful because I matter to you.
Bro, literally, I'm
If
mad at
if
you.
if I don't matter to you, then I'm useless.
Bro,
You
listen,
feel me?
hey, let me up
So
on that one.
so
You on the right
I
page
say
with
that
that
all the
one.
time. So when my friend asks me like, yo, how do you just push through, even when your numbers don't match the results that you wanted?
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. I tell them that every time, and the answer never changes. You feel me? Because I'm like, yo, if my all right, I'm just saying, looking at it from social
Yeah.
media, right? If I get 20K views,
Yeah.
right, but my followers say 800, and my likes say 45,
Yeah.
and my comments say 3,
I
and
notice that all the time. Why the fuck is that like that
and
though?
my DM, it's because people rather watch you.
Then support
And,
you.
and I won't say they're not supporting you because supporting is an energy of watching.
That is true. I
But
do agree with you on that for sure.
one of my guys did break down to me, right, that sometimes it's not hate that actually comes from the the perspective of how you looking at it.
Yeah.
It's a thing that this person really want to pursue the same thing that you are doing, but they don't have that, what you said earlier, that grit, that bite down
Yeah.
to mentally put yourself in a space where you physically will yourself to actually accomplish it. So they look at you as an opposite. But the opposite really comes out of fear
Yeah.
instead of hate. So it's really love for what you're doing, but they're seeing themselves at that and then they're bashing themselves. So instead of them having that open mind saying, every like matter, every comment matter, every repost matter, every share matter, every subscribe matter, because this is something that I want to do. And I want to see him get to the highest level so I
Yeah.
know that I can shoot for something. They just don't do it
Bro,
because of fear.
that's
So
deep. That's deep right
yeah,
there.
someone broke that down to me, and that just helped me narrate just our people period.
Yeah.
Because our people was like for when I went to Africa, right? And I'm gonna just wrap this up fast
You went
because
to
we need to
Africa?
get back to you.
What
Yeah,
part of Africa you go to?
Tanzania, Africa.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I was thinking
So
about going down to Jonesboro,
okay.
Johannesboro, how the
Yeah.
fuck you say it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about going down there with some of my buddies.
Yeah.
But go ahead, keep going.
So when I went to Africa, right? And here in America,
Mm,
the history that they teach us here is way different from the history that's actually in Africa, right?
okay.
And I talked to one black guy from Africa, born
Mm,
and raised, tribe, original tribe. Like we
dang.
went to the village. I
They got
said,
that real experience.
yeah. I asked him. I said, um, what's one thing that you regret from your peoples? And he told me. He said, I'm 80. It was last year, so he's 89, but he was 88 last year.
Mm,
He said the fact that we sold ourselves. He said for hundreds of years, different races and cultures of people were coming over here living amongst us.
yeah.
And until we sold ourselves, that's when we showed the division in us people. And from that point on, we see every day the division from our people.
Okay.
Because if you look at yourself, like if I can look at you, right, and we closer to the same skin complexion, and I
Mm,
sell you to someone that's a different skin complexion,
mm,
why would that different culture or that different race look at them people as a unity that's strong? And when he broke that down to me, I had to realize that even down to the support system of how we talking about just a simple social media
yeah.
thing, that's a that's like a mental thing that been passed down generations of something that we couldn't actually get over yet.
Yeah.
And in due time, it probably will happen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I see it getting better, like from my community, that's what I'm creating and stuff like that. And I have friends from all walks of life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Every last
So
culture.
do I. Yeah.
But that's the key point that I actually took back from when my friend explained that to me, and then I actually went to Africa and see that those people were never together.
Yeah.
Like you need a visa to get from. We needed a visa to get from. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but I think Zanzibar is in Tanzania.
Okay.
So I went to Zanzibar, Tanzania, Africa. So if I'm in Zanzibar
Yeah.
and we travel to, I guess, if I'm in Zanzibar, Tanzania, and we travel to Tanzania Safari, why do we need a visa to get here? That's like we took a 35-minute flight, right? Because it was like a body of water that was in between. They didn't want to drive us through or take us on a boat because of the timing of it,
Yeah,
of us
it's
going.
gonna take much
Yeah.
longer.
So we went over, right? And I'm like, hold on. 35 minutes to us is DC. That's Owens Mills. So you telling me that you need a visa to go from each different place here?
That's crazy.
And he said that been like that for hundreds of years. So these people were never together. So when they got colonized, because they were never together.
Yeah,
So it made it easier. You get what I'm saying?
it made it
So,
easier for them to play the pods. I get
and
what you're
then
saying.
these days and times, we got so many different values on life and what we look at as in life instead of looking at each other as just simply human beings, no matter what culture you are,
Yeah,
it still makes it easier.
yeah, 100%. I totally
You
agree
get
with
what I'm
you.
saying? So that was just one of the things that I would say, like, it's not the fact that these people hate us or situation. It's just the fear base that was implanted in us for centuries
Yeah,
as it been passed down, and then some people at some point in time you should know better because you will want to grow.
yeah,
But to history right now, I feel like us as a culture of people, I'm only speaking for black people because I consider myself as black, right?
yeah, 100%.
That
You're all black.
yeah, that we
We all black.
I mean I'm native, a lot of native.
Native. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
took my blood test,
oh
so
yeah, yeah,
a
that's cool.
lot of native.
They actually got a genetic testing at Life Med now. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Life Med, one of my sponsors, they do a genetic testing, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. And it tells you like a lot about your back past and family history and stuff like that, or where you come from.
Yeah.
Something super cool to hop on to.
Yep. So yeah, that was just one thing I wanted to say is it's not coming from hate, it's coming from fear.
Yeah,
So us as people, we have to stop projecting it as hate.
yeah,
We have to understand that hey, it's fear based. And then we have to be the people that still push through no matter how we look at it or how we feel, so we can motivate the next person to say, hey, look, you don't have to fear me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
We
feel
are the
you.
same.
Definitely. That's
And
deep.
then we gotta do what we gotta do. So yeah. But Life Med
100%.
though, right? You said one of your sponsors, right? That's
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to tap into, right? How do you narrate which sponsor that you want to represent you or that you want to represent?
I'm definitely like a start from the ground type guy. You know what I mean? Life Med. Shout out to my man Vinny. Shout out to Life Med. They've been such a huge help in my career. They've been helping us out and stuff like that. Me and a few of my buddies and stuff that fight too. He's really big on the fighter community and stuff like that. And if you're going into, you said who sponsors me?
No, I
Say it
said,
again. What you said one more time?
how do you decide, right?
Okay.
Who you represent or who you want representing you when it comes to the sponsors?
They definitely gotta have a. They definitely gotta have more of a walk in the divine of like on the same page as me. You know what I mean? Like I'm more intuitive with people that represents or stands for the same thing that I stand for. Getting back onto it, I love Life Man. Life Man is one of my great sponsors that I have in partnerships that I have. My brother Vinny, and the people that have represented me is more people that's like me. Going back to it, I support blue collar workers, man. That's what I come from. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my blue collar workers out there. Everybody that's like I said, turning wrenches and busting knuckles out here. Like providing for this country. You know what I mean? They building America. Like, what would you do, dude? Like, if your water cut off, you need plumbing, blue collar.
Right.
Houses get knocked down, you got tornadoes in the Midwest, construction, blue collar. Like these are people that's actually putting in good to the world. You know what I mean? To our country, I should say, more so than pertaining just to the world, but our country. Without them, life would be tough for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that's something that I stand for, big time, you know what I mean? Got a bunch of buddies and stuff like that that help me out. They're not necessarily just my sponsors, they're my friends. You know what I mean? Dennis Dam, Mark Huntley, the Dam Cook brothers and cousins, Kearns, everybody that has helped me on my way going forward, just as well as I have, bigger, more commercial sponsors as well too, and I have great relationships and stuff with them too, and I'm just really big on my blue collar workers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm really big on. Those guys are my type guys. I can feel that from them.
Okay.
That connection, that
Okay.
division, as you were saying before too.
Okay. I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you this question, right? Because it's like we transitioned through this whole entire conversation, with some high energy So me, low energy.
Yeah.
Then we shot back up, and then we just went straight through, right? So I want to ask you this, right? What is something that you can never forgive somebody for?
What I can never forgive somebody for. Man, I don't really know about that one.
Mm.
Thinking about it, like something I can never forgive somebody for. I don't know, maybe harming my family, something like that. I feel like those are things that are hard to come by, but you know, God asks us for forgiveness. Like I forgave many people for a lot of different things that they've done to me or have done ways that affected me or something like that. But I might have distanced myself and just didn't want too much more to do with them anymore at that point. I kind of just moved on from it and focused on what I focus on, my career, God, family, stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So what does loyalty mean to you?
everything. Loyalty is everything. You can't love me without loyalty. You know what I mean? I'd rather have loyalty than love any day of the week. You know what I mean? I've been deceived by love many times. You know what I mean? That happens. People pretend to love you. You know what I mean? Or they might really do love you and harm you somewhere down the line in some type of way by accident. You know what I mean? Verbally, physically, mentally, it doesn't matter how it comes. But excuse me, like yeah, like loyalty's everything. You can love somebody all goddamn day long, and you know what I mean, and you still do something wrong to them. Loyalty's everything. Appreciate that too, bro. But you want what's best for a person. You're gonna be loyal to them. You're gonna push them to be their greatest versions of themselves. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like without loyalty, I feel like you don't have anything. Loyalty is just a bond. It's a it's a bond of trustworthy. Like wholeness, fullness, um, everything. I just feel like everything really flows under loyalty. I can go so many different spans away with that, as far as with loyalty and given the gratitude that I have towards loyalty. Loyalty is everything. I feel like if you got loyalty, you got the keys to success.
Hmm.
I mean, you build the right empire. You build up people that you trust. You know what I mean? People that you put your trust in, you trust with yourself, just as well as they trust you with themselves. Like that's everything. Having that bond, having that criteria, somebody to lean on. You know what I mean? It takes a village sometimes, man. That's why I'm so appreciative of my support system. And people I got behind me that, that's loyal to me and I'm loyal to them. They believe in me. You know what I mean? Whether they got what they got going on in life, they're giving back just as well as I do. I give back now. You know what I mean? I give back all the time, constantly. Giving back is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it back.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to. That's what we here for. Giving hope and faith, leading back on to that. Putting something in somebody else too, having them believe in themselves. All it takes is just a little bit of belief and a lot of hard work. And you can do extraordinary things.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I know it's probably a little early, like too early to do this,
What's that?
but like, what's one of them dream call out fights?
Dream call out fights?
Yeah, that you desire.
I'm fighting Theo Vaughn.
Okay, so Theo Vaughn, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so who is this? Like like
It's this dude that I always see like doing like different little podcast shoots and shit like that. I just think it'll be funny as fuck just to swear off against him. You know what I
you
mean?
said Theo.
Yeah, Theo Vaughn, the dude with the mullet.
Oh, the one Cat Williams was on his
I
podcast.
think
Okay.
Cat Williams might have did go on this podcast actually. I seen a
Oh,
bunch of people went on there, a bunch of different MMA fighters went on there and stuff like that.
okay.
Actually, like I could pull up a picture too. We could do that later.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, do that later. Yeah, do that later.
okay.
But nah,
Why?
yeah, I feel like that'll be dope.
Why him out of everybody
Huh?
though? Why him out of everybody though?
I think he's funny as shit. You know, what I mean, I think he's real as fuck too, though. I think he's a down to earth guy. I don't know him, so you won't know it till you get to learn somebody or meet him. You know what I mean? But I feel like, bro, like getting on one of his, like getting in front of his eyes, his podcast, like I would just like to shoot the shit with him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shoot the shit with him, like just be funny as shit, face off with him. Definitely calling his ass out just because, like, you might do a celeb fight with him. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I feel like that should be hella crazy though.
No, that's fine.
I
That's
treat that
fine.
shit like hella funny. Like,
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, all right. Are there any
yeah.
particular fighters, right, present or past, that you will put like in like? Your top 5.
In my top five, like what? Greatest fighters of all time, or
Yeah,
what?
like peasant or press.
Or
Yeah,
or pound for pound.
yeah.
That's tough, bro. To be honest though, like I feel like there's a lot of good fighters. I'd rather go to date. You know what I mean? Go to date more than going into the past because everything, like all sports, like they grow. You know what I'm saying? It expands. The knowledge of the sport expands. You have to learn more and new shit all the time. So like I feel like as it's expanding, it's so hard to put olds with greats. It's too hard to compare. People are always talking about the LeBron and the Jordan situation. By the way, I don't give a fuck about any of that anyway, to be honest with you. But I'm just speaking on it because you're asking me pertaining to MMA and what I do in my life. But I feel like, like getting back to that, leading on to what fighters and stuff like that we're going pound for pound in today, I would say Islam Makhachev. He's a Russian. He comes out of like AKA. I would say that definitely got to put him one. You know what I mean? I'll put him one, but before I number anybody, I don't want to even number anybody. I'm just gonna
Yo,
put
yo.
him one though.
Okay.
But I'll give you five though.
All right.
Yes, sir. I'll give you
Okay. So
five.
we got what? You
You
got
got
what?
Islam right now. You got you got to put John Jones in there. You know what I mean? Just from what he did from the past, despite anything. You know, I feel like I feel like my buddy Tom Aspinall as well too. That man's dangerous, and I also feel like because there's not really no order for it. I feel like who else would I give it to? I don't got five, but one more. I gotta throw my man Kobe in there, bro.
Okay,
I
Kobe.
gotta throw Kobe in there. You know what I mean? Like I
You
gotta throw him in
you gonna leave
there.
the goat out?
Who?
Conor McGregor?
I like McGregor, but you going for skill, or what you going for? You going for
I'm just
entertainment?
asking you, like,
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I'm leaving him out. He listen, he's that. Don't get it mistaken. He's that. But bro, this game now, this shit is ground based. Like you know what I'm saying? It's stand up too, but you gotta really be able to get down on that ground. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get down on that ground, it's gonna be hard for you to excel out. Like look at Israel Adesanya right now. Izzy style. The style been like, bro, he's having complications and troubles because of the ground. We'll say like these guys are becoming a lot more diverse. They're not just ground; they're stand up too. Like this guy Imanov, bro, he's tough. Like he's tough. Like I bet against Izzy in that fight because I knew Imanov was gonna be a tough ass fight for him, bro. He was gonna be tough as shit, and he was. You know what I'm saying? He can grapple and he can strike too, and he's powerful. You know what I mean? I feel like you gotta be able to get down on that ground. It's a different cardio.
yeah.
It's a different pace. It's not like you have boxing, do you have wrestling, do you have MMA. I feel like the people that find their fine line in between that groove of that MMA, you got boxing, you got wrestling, you got kickboxing, you got karate, you got jujitsu, all these things that level up here, you got MMA in the middle. I feel like whoever can ride this beam the best, those are the guys that's excelling right now.
Mm,
A lot further down the path. You know what I mean?
okay.
And that's pretty much shown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's shown in the fights. You know what I mean? It's shown in the fights a lot when you watch them today.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really into. All right. So despite you, right?
Hmm.
Put that you got to put you to the side, right? But despite that, watching you into this sport, I wasn't really excited into this sport until Conor fought Floyd Mayweather. So it's like I feel like he brung that like that money and that
Listen,
swag, and he just like it was like a transition when he did what he did
bro,
for real.
Connor the man, dog. Like Connor is the man. Like I'm telling you that. Connor is a businessman, a showman. That goes back to Blueprint. He laid it out there for a lot of people, dude. Like Connor's that guy. When you speak MMA, you can't speak MMA without speaking his name. You know what I mean? That's why I asked you, were you going for skill or were you going for, just in the sport in general, as in like it's an all around.
Yeah.
Connor is one of those guys that really made MMA what MMA is today. You know what I'm saying? MMA is what it is a lot to do because of him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And what he did for the sport was amazing. And it ain't doing nothing but continuously growing.
Okay.
So giving a lot of people that do fight MMA better chances to do more with their lives, platforms, and stuff like that as they compete in this sport to excel and expand. Because the sport is so broader now too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So what does your next 5 years look like?
My next 5 years,
Mm.
man, pay-per-view star in the UFC, baby.
Yeah.
Living somewhere secluded. I'm not really I'm not really the type of guy to be around so many people these days. Like I'm friendly, you know what I mean. I like to be around people and stuff like that, but I also like my little coop, you know what I mean. I like
Yeah.
to be by myself, off into the wilderness, you know what I mean. Like living in Illinois and Kentucky for about 7, 8 years and stuff like that. Like I grew to really like to be secluded more than growing up in Baltimore City, you know what I mean, and being in a city versus being in the country, you know what I mean. I love to fish. I love to hunt. That probably shocked a lot of people, I'm sure, but
Mm.
that's my thing. Like those are things that bring me that little peace and quiet in my life that I be looking for, when I'm outside of fighting.
Okay.
So I definitely see me living secluded, pay-per-view star in the UFC, training in my home gym. I'm gonna have a home gym for sure, where I can train at, invite people to come down, spending time with my family, having kids and stuff like that. Those are the things that I look forward to coming.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Right. So, what's one piece of wisdom or quote that you live by that that sometimes like keep you going like through your hardest days?
That keep me going between my hardest days is I wouldn't necessarily say quotes, but something that I live by is like, I told you already, like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. So, like, whatever I do, I'm going to be the best at it. I'm going to give it all my effort, my time, just as well as, my patience as well, too. So, whatever I choose to do, just being the best at it, point blank, period, whatever that matters, whatever that means.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all. That's what I shoot for. As far as on that aspect of it, when you break it down like that, though.
Mm. Okay. 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 Cool. I like that. Right. All right. So I know you just spoke on fishing and hunting, right?
Yeah.
So my last question before we go into the speed round, right? When you go hunting a lot, right? What's the feelings that you get when you out there stalking your prey?
It feels the same as when I'm in a fight. Things get quiet. You start zoning in. You start looking. Like, I'll give you a vivid time. Bro, we was in Kentucky. I'll tell you my first turkey that I ever shot. I was in Kentucky and I was with my buddy Saul. And we were chasing turkeys that day. We was on this land or whatever like that. I was shooting a turkey, a buckshot. I was shooting a shotgun. And I remember it vividly. Whereas though, like, the turkey was probably about, like, I would say, like, 25, 30 yards away from us or whatever like that. And as we're creeping up on it, we got our decoys and stuff like that in front of us. And like as I'm stalking, we're boxing them in, like we're cornering the turkey in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to corner him in. I want to feel him sit still. So once he sits still and he knows that he has nowhere to go, I got him. You know what I'm saying? So as we start to corner him in, this is some funny shit right here, too. I'm gonna tell you. He tells me like, "Go ahead, you got him," or whatever like that. So I'm lining up on him, and he's like, "Oh, you got him, you got him." I shoot. The shotgun knocks me on my ass. I fall back and all of that because I didn't expect it to give me the kickback it gave me when I was shooting down like that. That was my first time hunting a turkey. You know what I'm saying? With a shotgun. You know what I mean? Like, when we hunt deer and stuff like that, I like to do bow. I like to hunt with a bow for deer more. So it's a lot more. It's a little bit more harder, I would say, for some people, but it was more intriguing to me though. Like I thought that was kind of dope, feeling like we back in the Stone Age, just hunting and shit like that. I felt like a true Indian,
Yeah. See?
running around, hunting animals and shit like that. And then on top of that, like hanging the deer up, gutting the deer. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to make sure you don't poke the poop bag and stuff like that because then you're gonna have shit everywhere. You get what I'm saying? Like I thought all of that was super cool. So learning that stuff and all of like that, living in the country, that shit was amazing. Like,
Mm-mm.
city boy turned country.
Yeah.
Gone wild. You
Yeah.
know. So that's dope, man.
Okay.
Shout out to them boys. Shout out to the Irvin family.
Okay. So we ready into the speed round, right? And it's keep or delete, right?
Keep
So
or delete.
yes. So you have to keep one or you have to delete one, right? But when you
Questions or
yes, I'm gonna ask you
okay.
questions. You know what I'm saying? And it's only two choices. You gotta keep one or you gotta delete one.
Oh, it's two answers to the question.
Yes.
Keep one answer and delete one
The,
answer. So
yep.
you're answering for me then.
No, you're gonna answer it. I'm going to read it off to you.
Okay.
And you're going to say, I'm keeping. So if you say Sony or Nikon, I'll say, keep Sony and I'm deleting Nikon.
Okay, more so like preference.
Yes.
Preference. Okay.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So John Jones or Conor McGregor? Keep or delete?
I'm keeping Conor. I'm leaving John Jones.
Okay, wrestling or fighting?
Fighting. I'm keeping fighting. I'm deleting wrestling.
Okay, Dunks or Yeezy shoes?
I'm deleting dunks. Keeping Yeezys.
Miami or Vegas?
Oh, that's tough. Oh, shit. Man, I'm keeping Vegas. I'm deleting Miami.
Okay, money or traveling?
Traveling. Keeping traveling. Deleting money.
Okay, sports or I mean sponsors or ticket sales?
I'm keeping sponsors. I'm deleting ticket sales.
Okay, cool. Training or sparring?
Keeping sparring. Deleting training.
The county or the city?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
You on that hot seat?
Bro, I'm keeping the city. I'm deleting the county,
Okay,
bro.
love or loyalty?
Loyalty. I'm keeping loyalty. I'm deleting love.
Okay, boats or planes?
I'm keeping boats. I'm deleting planes.
For real?
Yeah. More personal reasons for that. I ain't gonna get
Why?
into it.
Why? I gotta hear
He
this.
said I gotta
I gotta
hear
hear
this.
this before we wrap this one up.
Bro, like, I feel like all the fucking plane crashes going on right now, let alone, like, I'm scared as shit to fly. Like, I fly out tomorrow to head back home to Vegas. Like, yeah, fuck that. But definitely, I just like boats, you know what I mean? I like to fish. Things a lot more relaxing and stuff like that to be out there, too. You know, when you out deep in the water, not even just deep, you out with enough you can't see anything around you. It gives me this effect where I feel like when I look around and I don't see nothing else, it feels like it goes on forever. Same sense as like, it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there, eventually you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? By the time we drive back to shore, you don't see nothing, but then when you start seeing something and stuff like that, it's just amazing. I like that feeling. I like that feeling of entering the finish line. So like every time I'm on a boat or something like that, the chances that I do get to get on a boat, you know, like you leave and then when you come back, I feel like it's dope to keep feeling like I finally made it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what this gonna feel like, you know. It's already starting to feel surreal, but when it really happens for me and stuff like that, it's gonna be surreal, for sure.
Okay, cool. So I appreciate your time for
Yeah.
you actually coming on. You know what I'm saying? This is a good one. I like this. You know what I'm saying? But,
You know
right,
what's up.
this is your camera right here, right? And the first thing, what are some words of advice that you would give to someone that's watching you right now or that's trying to pursue exactly what you're doing?
Man, work hard, faith and hope, believe in yourself, put God first, and people don't say it enough, but be a businessman. This is a business of entertainment. Give them people to you. Let them know who you are. Give people something to attach themselves to and to believe in, you know? And sky's the limit when it comes to that.
And anything that you want to promote, that's your camera.
All right, hold on, wait. Give me 2 seconds. Just take that out.
No.
You ain't gonna take that out.
No. What do you want to promote?
Anything I want to promote, I'm definitely promoting me, but man, I want to say shout out to my sponsors, shout out to my coaches, my teammates. You know, I thank all you guys and stuff like that for helping me get where I'm at today and continue to push me. And I shout the world.
I like that.
That's a good one.
Thank you for coming on.
My God, I appreciate you, Brody.
Yes,
Big time. I'm definitely taking one of these.
Go ahead.
All of them.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey, it's one right here too, though. You gotta take these pictures.